Hi, I'm Gary Jenkins, and welcome to the beauty of oil painting. Now, I know some of you folks out there that are watching this show, you're beginners. And you're thinking, well, I'm not too sure whether I want to try this floral painting stuff or not. So today's show is going to be on poppy painting, which is the flower that you should really start with before you venture out into other flowers. Let's take a look at the painting, and you can see it here, that we have a yellow poppy, a pink, and a red, and some daisies. It's a very simple little painting with a nice gray background, but it's very colorful. And this painting not only will teach you brushwork, but also teaches you and shows you how to loosen up. Let's look at the canvas up here. This is a 14 by 18. Now you could make it larger or a little smaller, it doesn't matter. I have some gray on the back. And this is acrylic. And you take some black and white, mix up a gray, and I use a sponge brush to put it on. And then I went in with a paper towel and I coated the canvas with a coat of linseed. And then you put it on and then you wipe most of it back off so you have just a thin coat. Let's come on down, let's pick up cerulean blue and a touch of white. We're going to put some color back here. Let's take some of the darker blue. Ooh, that's right out of the tube. Blue. And just throw it in there. I know. Don't you laugh, guys. There's a lot of museums out there that have stuff like this, put a nice gold frame on it, and sell it for $20 jillion. Yeah. I never did understand this. And I'm taking my towel, and I want just kind of a hazy look back there. I might leave a little bright shot right in there. But we're just going to have sort of a cool background. Maybe we'll put, just in case it shows, a little over there. Take your towel and wipe it in. Now, what's great about the gray neutralizes the white as it thins out and goes into the background. So you get a nice middle tone back in there. Okay. Now, let's come on down to the palette. Let's pick up something down here that maybe phthalo, red, rose, and white. And we'll use this. We're going to have maybe a poppy over here. And we'll just kind of indicate where it's going. We might have another poppy that'll sit right in here. And then we'll have another one. I think we'll move ours over a little bit because you don't want to stack one underneath the other. And we'll have another one right about in here. Oh, that came out a nice mauve, purpley color. So we have 1, 2, 3. Notice a nice little curve. Now we'll come down. Let's pick up our beautiful sap green and chrome oxide green. And we're going to come in here. Well, let's put a little sienna with that green, which actually sienna is just a red. And we're going to put that in here. Notice how the strokes are crisscrossing. Less pressure as it comes into the background. And if you want to, take your towel. Yeah. Notice how I can grab those edges and just pull them out and soften it up. We'll come in here where this poppy's going to be, and we'll put a shadow underneath. This will help set that flower down so it's not floating all over. I put some sienna. So it's not floating all over. This will be a vignette. That means we won't paint all the way out to the edge, but I'm going to take a paper towel. This is great. I love poppy painting. I've been painting poppies for umpteen years. More than I want to remember. And a little in there. Time goes by so fast. Whew. 1 minute you're young, and the next minute you're one of those old people that you see walking around and you go, oh, that's an old person. Then you walk past a mirror and you go, hey, I'm one of them. Look at the dog. Notice how it droops down. Maybe we'll loosen up down here. And if you're a beginner, watch the brush strokes. Watch how loose and free it is. We're going to take a little green. Now watch this. We're going to put some stems in the side of the brush. This is why your brush needs to come to a nice chisel. Another one here. Another one there. up there, maybe one here, one there. Notice the nice swing as it comes through and it catches a curve. So we get some rhythm into your painting. They're not just little floral paintings that stare back at you. I hate those things. And another one that comes up here. So make sure your brush chisels and it comes a turn. We're going to have a little bud there. We're going to have another little bud there. And maybe a little more dark something. Oh, just, this is so loose and free. Watch this stroke. It's down. And I turn the brush and just pull it out. See? Down, turn the brush, and pull it out. Down and out. That's all I'm doing when I do this really fast. And they're nice little fillers. They don't draw the eye because you're not putting a lot of detail in it, so it doesn't draw the eye to that point. Okie dokie. Now, let's turn this a little bit more because it looks a little bit. Cameras are off to the side, which has a tendency to throw everything out a little bit. Let's put a leaf in here. Yeah. Woo-wee. And another, maybe another leaf over here, very dark. Hardly even see it. Until phthalo yellow green, and we come in. Zowie! And we pull a highlight out. And whoa. Now leave a little mystery in here. Let's get a flower going. Let's come down to the palette. Crimson, straight out of the tube. Zowie, look at that wonderful dark. Somebody help me. Don't stop me now. I'm smoking. Get her in. Get that dark going. Yeah, now have a little separation because that shows the separation of the petals. Now we're not going to put that whole flower in. We're just going to let it sit there. Let's take crimson and ochre. Kind of makes a, kind of like a dusty rose color. And we'll overlap that flower. Boy, crimson and yellow ochre. Who knew? Oh, we're losing some of our blue. There's a little bit of it showing. And then inside of that, we'll take our crimson. And let's put that in the inside and brush it out. Yes, now down below, I'm just blocking these in, guys. Down below, we'll take a little ochre. Now I use linseed, and I have odorless turp over here, clean your brushing. Let's take some of this yellow ochre. In it goes. Now it's not directly underneath that. I don't want it directly under. And it comes out. Right into that dark, pull some of that dark in, it ties it into the bottom. If you were painting roses, you would probably just start out the same way. A little crimson on my brush, let my brush go bye-bye, and then a little dark in there. So now we're ready to paint the little faces in. Excuse me. Cad red light. And we're going to take this, if my voice stays with me, and we're going to come up here and, excuse me, and get this in. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Cool. Now, watch it go. One stroke overlapping the previous stroke. Let's get this, put it a little slower. See it going? See it? See it? And maybe just a touch with what's left on the brush, just a touch of that. Not too much, just enough to say, well, there's a little light hitting back there. Now, let's take a cad red light again. And maybe there's another stroke right in there. Okay. Oh, look at that. Maybe a little bit. Here's some, there's some. You never know when you're finished. Now we're going to come down. Phthalo red rose and white. Zowie. And we have another highlight coming in here. And now, you're a beginner. And you say, wait a minute, slow down. How do you do that? Here, say here's a petal. And there's a vanishing point towards the back. Take our pink, and we just head towards that vanishing point, and there's a petal. That's all there is to it. There ain't no more. Another petal back in here. Notice how that petal, if we dark, let's take a little touch of crimson. And if we darken that up just a little bit, you can see how it accents that little curve. A little more pink. And we have another petal back here. Kind of standing up in the air. And we have another petal here. Yeah. Okay, okay. And we have, let's take our phthalo red rose and white. And now we're going to overlap that back flower. But here's something you should see. Here goes a stroke. Now the next stroke overlaps that stroke 3/4 of the way. Don't just put it next to it. Because if you overlap, it gives you a smoother stroke. Let's get a little layer. Yes. If it gets too strokey, you can bring in the cavalry. And you just kind of smooth it down. Gets rid of a lot of the little bumps and bumps. Now the flower in the front. This is yellow and white. Yellow and white. This is going to be a bright fellow. But I'm going to put a petal here, a petal here. This indicates the back of the petal. Now watch how this happens. This is yellow and white. We have a vanishing point at the base of those petals. Your strokes are going to head towards that little vanishing point. Now you watch how this happens. This is just white and yellow. We start at the edge and head towards that vanishing point. And then round the back off. And there it is. No biggie. Let's try it again. Yellow and white, follow the lines. No medium. And there's another one. That even looks like veins in there. That was kind of cool. Now our back petals. These all head towards the center. Let it pick up the pink. Don't say, oh no, it's getting pink. Let the pink in there. You want that. Here's another one going in. Here. Now watch, the last stroke is curved. Watch it. Now as I come in, I pull up and away so it blends into the background. And have another one here. Let it pick up that green on it. Look at it happen. I like those paints. Some things happen for the first time. Let's get them. Now these are foreshortened. Yeah. I mentioned once before, a student asked me, well, if that's foreshortened, what happened to 1 shortened, 2 shortened, and 3 shortened? Well, I didn't have an answer for it. I don't know. I don't even know if there is. 1, 2, and 3. Look at that. Yes. 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 There we have it. Now work dry. You're going to feel the paint sticking to the surface if you work dry. What are we doing? Cool. Let's take, this is called a liner brush or a twiggy brush, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to clean it off a little. We'll pick up a little yellow. And I picked up a little linseed on here. I'm going to come in here and put this little stuff coming out. Now, here's something really strange. I started painting these poppies about 40, 50 years ago. This flower, I came up with this flower. And this flower does not exist. It is a fantasy flower, one that I made up. It's a cross between an oriental poppy and a California poppy, which is much smaller. And I started painting these way back when Spanish yellow and orange colors were really in vogue. And these paintings just flew off the wall because people wanted them because they were kind of Spanish looking. Well, let's get budding up top, a bud. Well, you know, there's several ways of doing buds. You can just take a little cad red light and white. And we can put our little, kind of a little bud in there, maybe one in there. Oh, well, let's find another one over there. And then we'll come in with our green, phthalo, yellow green, and a little soft green. Watch it go. Now watch, this is important. You see that little edge? Watch it flatten out. You see that? You see? Pay attention to the little guys. Everybody, they move too fast. They don't stop. They don't stop and look at anything nowadays. Everybody's moving too fast. An artist sees so much more than the normal person. Because an artist is used to seeing color. Color, color, color. The normal person doesn't see it. They just see a flower, they'll see a rose, but they don't see the beautiful colors or the petal that's turning. Maybe the rose is getting a little darker on the edge. They don't see the difference between when you look at a flower in the early morning light and you look at that same flower when the sun is going down, how the color changes, how the shadows during the evening, they get deeper and more mysterious and darker. Oh, yes, this is the stuff that makes painting worthwhile. It's not just doing a painting, it's superficial stuff. That's no fun. It's a waste of money and time. Learn to look at flowers or landscapes or whatever it is, seascapes, whatever it is you love, whatever you have a passion for. Learn to look. Just look. Nobody looks. They look and they look away. They're here and they're there and they're having a boo and they do but the boo. Stop and smell the roses along the way, like I say, because you need to do it if you're going to see things through an artist's eye. Yes. Set it in a glass. Okay. Let's get that in here. Now, there's some daisies here. Let's take a little orange and yellow. And a little button in the middle. And maybe we'll have another daisy up there, a little button. Wait a minute, what is that? Watch, you'll see. We'll take the side of our brush. Oh yes, oh yes. Can you see it happen? It's all in the stroke, guys. Push down and pull up. Maybe this doesn't have any petals back there. Maybe those petals went bye-bye. Let's have another one here. Now, if you wanted just a side view, you could just sort of just leave it like that. But this particular one, we're going to go around the back. Lighter pressure, so let some of that gray show through. Oh, look at that, we got a little orange right there. Cool. And maybe we'll have one over the top. Now, it's just hanging there, I know. Looks like it's just floating down from the ceiling. But we're going to take and put a little stem coming around. Now it has an excuse to be there. Maybe some little stuff coming off. And here, so these stems, they look a little crazy if you don't put a little something with them. Okay. Now here's something we can do. Little, with our liner, twiggy, whatever you want to call this, brush with the long hair, whatever. We're going to come in here. Now you can come in and watch this. We can twirl the right. You see? Now these vines actually do that. I went out and studied them, so I know. I took pictures of them. How they know that there's maybe a lattice over here, and they know it, and they'll turn and start growing. How do they know that lattice is there? Do they have eyes? And they go, hey, Harry, come on over. There's some lattice over here. Let's grow to the left more. You're going to the right. We're supposed to be to the left, and we're supposed to grow up over the lattice. You're just taken off by yourself. Come on here. So they come over and they grow up the lattice. I've got some stuff growing up, some lattice in my backyard. I'm waiting for it to do its thing. Color. Yes. Now, down here on the bottom, little bland down there. You know me. I want some color down there. Let's take our phthalo yellow green and let's remember the last thing you do, ba-boom, is what people see first. And we'll take, yes, so we'll take a little cad yellow. And we'll come over here and hit, now you see the stroke, you see the energy in it. You don't want to put a stroke down straight. That is no energy at all. It just sits there. But you want to hit it this way and hit it that way. Let's take some pink. Let's have fun. Let's be creative. You hold that brush way back and hit it, honey. Do it. I know that one ran off. Who cares? Let's take a little crimson. Boom! Look at the red. Look. Learn to love color. Learn to put color in your paintings. If it looks bad, who cares? It's just a learning experience, that's all. That's all painting is. It's a learning experience. We're all learning. If it turns out bad, who cares? You learned something. Yes. Don't play it safe. That's no fun. Look at what a towel will do. I'm mixing with the towel. Remember, the camera's off to the side, so this looks a little Okay, let's get that in there. I'm just going to refine this a little bit. If I turn this, you can see that's a lot straighter on the bottom. This is what I'm looking at. What you're looking at is the camera on the side, which has a tendency to shoot this up. So just be aware that it is straighter down here. Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm putting it on dry. We want to spot, our eye will always go to the area that is the lightest. I'm going to take some white with my yellow and watch right in here. We want some color excitement. Yes. Boom, boom. And people, when they look at your paintings, they will get turned on with color. When they look at your painting, they don't even see flowers. They say, oh, look at the yellow. Look at the pink. I didn't know floral painting could be this exciting. I thought it was just some little old flowers just on your canvas. Kind of boring stuff. And now all of a sudden this guy comes along saying, hey, wait a minute. It doesn't have to be that way. Now I'm going to show you how important it is highlights are on stems. We're going to come in here. See? And here. Now, by making this area a little lighter, it pops this out from the background and gives us another feeling of dimension. Keeps it from being flat. I see a phthalo yellow green, another one right here. Yes. Yeah, let's get that in. Let's get the edge coming. And maybe we want to darken this up where it starts to swoop in there. Well, I didn't get dark at all, did it? It's little stuff that'll get you. There. Now, as it comes in, it gets a little darker. I see, I'm looking at this little bud and say, hey, that needs a little more yellow-green on it. Let's get a little duck in there. Yeah. Okay, that's a little better. A little more light up in here. See it? See how important the lights are? Yes. Now, I'm going to do my little crazy bud. We got a little time. You know my crazy little buds. We're going to put some pink on the brush up next to the middle. A little green on the tip. Green on the tip. If you're new to the show, there's pink on the back and green on the tip. Watch right in this area. We're going to come. And we're going to, first color that comes off is the green. And we stop and we roll the brush down and back. And there's your bud. Let's pick up a little more green. And we'll come along. Turn. Notice that buds are turning back into the painting. Very important. Let's take our filbert, phthalo yellow green, sap green, put a little green hood on there. Look at that. Look. You think you can do that? I think so. Now, if you're a beginner out there, this is the painting for you. Set your paints up, set your canvas up, put your sketch on there, and have at it and give it a shot. How do you know? You might be able to paint beautiful masterpieces out there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to stop and smell the poppies along the way. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay. Good, Gary.
Thank you. Okay, I'm out of here.
Got that microphone on.
No, gotta get that. I don't want it. Shit, the police.
You sure you don't want it?
No.
These things are not cheap. Really. Go to the pawn shop, get a couple bucks for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know how much use it would do without the other end, but
Yeah.
You can order the other end. It's only
Yeah.
$1 grand. You do the honors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
If you got a steak with it.
Yes, all right. Okay, that'll do it for today.
Okay.
anything else to say to the YouTube folks?
Oh, and all you guys back there on YouTube, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.